Being kind and loving to yourself during recovery, whether it's from a narcissistic relationship or a nasty divorce or a toxic work situation or any painful separation from a loved one, from a family member, from a friend, is essential for your healing. Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Annemarie. I'm a neurotransformational life coach and hypnotherapist, and I now help women recover and rebuild themselves after narcissistic and toxic relationships, because I've been there myself. Today I want to share 5 important tips on being gentle, kind and loving with yourself as you move through the healing process from a toxic relationship or experience that left you empty, drained, and uncertain about your self-worth. So make sure you stick around till the end, because the 5th tip is probably the most valuable of all. If you're watching this, chances are you've come out of something that took a lot from you, that may have taken a toll on you. Maybe it was a relationship that started off warm and full of promise, but over time left you feeling empty, small, confused, unseen, invalidated, even traumatized. Maybe your boundaries were constantly being pushed and ignored and eroded. Maybe you were made to feel like everything was your fault. And maybe you started to believe that. I know I did. So I want to speak directly to that part of you, the part that's trying to piece it all back together. The part that's wondering, was it really that bad? Did all that really happen? Why couldn't I make it work? Was it really my fault? The truth is, healing from emotional manipulation and deep invalidation is not something that happens overnight. It takes time, care, and patience, but most of all, it takes self-love. After prolonged emotional stress, many of us adopt a really harsh inner critic, one that mimics the voice of that person or persons who constantly questioned us, undermined us, or made us feel like we were never enough. That voice isn't your true self. It's the leftover echo from someone else's dysfunction. One of the most damaging effects of gaslighting and manipulation is the way it distorts your reality and self-worth. Over time, you may have been conditioned to doubt yourself, to blame and shame yourself, or even to feel guilty about wanting basic respect and emotional safety. You might have been taught that your needs didn't matter, or that loving yourself was selfish and even egotistical, and that you think that you're better than others. That's simply not true. In fact, it's the complete opposite. Loving yourself is a rather radical act of healing. It's reclaiming your voice, your heart, your inner light. But what does that actually look like? So let's start with number 1, self-talk. I want you to start listening to your inner dialogue, how you speak to yourself. It's my fault. I'm the problem. I'm too sensitive. I expect too much. I should be over it. Would you talk to a child or a close friend the way you sometimes talk to yourself in your head? Often after narcissistic and toxic relationships, we internalize the harsh voice of that other person. We start gaslighting ourselves and become self-critical, blaming and shaming ourselves for things that weren't even our fault, that they may have actually done. We take responsibility for their bad behavior because we believe that we caused it. It takes conscious effort to change that voice. So when you hear yourself saying things like, I'm such an idiot, why didn't I just leave? I should have known better. Why didn't I see it? Or I should be over it by now. I want you to stop and I want you to replace it with kindness. I want you to say things to yourself like, I'm doing my best. It wasn't my fault. What happened was real, and I'm now healing myself. You don't have to force yourself to feel positive all the time. This isn't about toxic or false positivity. It's about meeting yourself with love and mercy, especially on the bad days, on the hard days. Okay? Number 2, give yourself permission to feel, because what we feel, we heal. You might have learned to dismiss your feelings, suppress and censor your feelings, to keep the peace and avoid conflict or guilt. But your feelings are valid and you deserve to heal. Some days you'll feel strong and hopeful and even motivated and happy. Other days you'll feel weighed down and like, is it ever going to be over? Am I ever going to get there? And it will feel unbearable again. This doesn't mean that you're going backwards. It means that you're in that pendulum swing of healing, okay? And until eventually it evens out, because recovery isn't a straight path. It's a winding road, okay? And every step that you take forward in your own healing, in your own life, even the shaky ones, is still progress. So let yourself feel without judgment. Number 3, set boundaries, especially with yourself. Because when you set boundaries for yourself, it becomes much easier to set the boundaries with others, because you're now living in self-respect and you now know what you deserve. You don't need to figure out why someone treated you the way they did. That's on them. Okay, sometimes peace means letting go of the need for closure and choosing your own well-being instead. That in itself is closure. That is power. So if you find yourself ruminating, trying to make sense of their behavior, trying to make sense of what's happened, trying to make sense of all the chaos and nonsense, I want you to give yourself 30 seconds to scratch that ruminating itch. Then I want you to consciously put a full stop and tell yourself gently, that's enough now. They don't deserve my energy anymore. They don't deserve any more of my energy, because when I'm ruminating, thinking about someone else, I'm not only giving my power to them, I'm giving my energy, and I'm remain connected energetically. So gently redirect your thoughts, your energy back to your own needs. Becoming your own safe space is one of the greatest gifts that you can give yourself. Okay? Number 4, nurture your body and your nervous system. Long-term emotional and mental stress puts us in a near constant state of fight, flight, freeze, or fawn. Your body may be holding on to a lot of stress, and your nervous system is now that alarm that is on 24/7. That annoying sensor light, the one that keeps waking you up through the night because it's going off with the slightest breeze or movement. That's your nervous system now. So gentle practices like meditation, practicing mindfulness, deep breathing, stretching, going for a walk. If you're fortunate, like myself, living by the beach, go put your feet in the sand, go put your feet in the water. It's very grounding. If you're not near the beach, that's okay. Just go put your bare feet on in the grass. Okay, feel the grass, or lie on the grass. Because nature is very grounding. And even if you can't get yourself to do that, even if you're feeling so exhausted or traumatized and you don't want to leave the house for the time being, allow yourself to lie flat on your bed and just focus on your heart rhythm. Focus on gently slowing down your breathing, because that will allow your nervous system to calm down. It will allow the adrenaline rush to dissipate. And it will help you feel safe again in your body, in your life, and in the world. And these are all acts of self-love and self-respect. Okay? So number 5, last one, and as I said, probably the most valuable one. The most important part of self-kindness during recovery, that is rebuilding your sense of self. You get to reclaim your authentic self as you recover and discover who you truly are outside of someone else's distorted version of you. Okay, so you get to reconnect with yourself. You get to know yourself all over again, because chances are you've totally lost yourself and your value system in these relationships or situations. Because for a long time you may have had to shapeshift, you may have had to tiptoe or silence part of yourself to maintain peace. Maybe you've had to twist yourself in knots, making yourself always available to please someone else, someone whose cup could never be filled, someone who will never be satisfied. Now you get to ask yourself, what brings me joy? What do I like? What do I believe and want in my life? What kind of people and energy do I want around me now? So you get to return home to you. So start small, try a new hobby, wear different clothes, get a new haircut, go get a massage. Say no to something you don't want to do. No is a full sentence. So get used to saying no with a loving heart as your boundary. You are allowed to be your full authentic self. This is a time of reclaiming, of remembering that you are not too much, that you are not too needy, that you are not the problem. You are a whole, complete, beautiful person who deserves to feel loved, especially by the person in the mirror. And please remember, you don't have to do this alone. Recovery can feel incredibly lonely and isolating, especially if others don't understand or believe what you went through. So stop trying to make them understand. Just remember, you are not alone. There are people who believe you, who won't ask you to prove your pain, who see your strength even if you can't see it yet. There are people who want to walk with you on this path. So whether it's through a therapist, a support group, online communities like this one, be sure to reach out, okay? And if you're in that space right now, maybe feeling broken, confused, exhausted, traumatized, I want to remind you, you are not what happened to you. You are not the cruel words, the silent treatments, the gaslighting. You are not the lies and the manipulations and the empty promises and the future faking. You are healing. And that is a beautiful, powerful thing. You are the quiet courage it takes to get up each day and choose yourself. You are the softness that remains after all the hardness that you faced. You are the phoenix rising, the light returning little by little to your own life. So be patient, be gentle, yet just disciplined enough to make incremental changes. Because healing isn't a race. It's not about going back to who you were before the pain, but it's a return to yourself, your true, authentic self, to your peace, your power, your essence of light. Let's end with this. Every time you choose self-kindness, you're rewriting your story. And you're healing the neural pathways of the brain. You're telling your inner child, your future self, and your heart that you matter, that you are loved, and that I've got you now. Okay, so thank you for being here. And if this message spoke to you, remember to like and subscribe, because it does help build the channel and it helps build awareness and support for those who may be needing this. And leave a comment and share your story, or just say, I matter, I'm loved, I've got me now. So keep going, keep growing, keep healing, and keep showing up for yourself, because you're doing better than you think. Until next time, lots and lots of love, and bye for now.